So today I bring you something quite unique. Bookshelf speakers from an iconic yet I think a bit forgotten brand, Mission. First of all, let's start with the fact that I gave up the inverted driver geometry idea and turned speakers upside down. Why? Well, for one simple reason. This solution did not work at all in my listening room, where I sit quite close to the setup. While I'm not completely dismissing this idea, I do think it's more suitable for hall standers, where you usually sit farther away from them. In the case of bookshelf speakers, it seems like a bit of an overkill to me. Anyway, moving to the design, the QX2s don't disappoint, especially considering the price. The speakers are really well crafted, the unusual use of aluminum plate at the top and bottom, as well as the rounded edges of the cabinet, make a very good impression. The veneer is solid, feels very close to the real wood, and efforts were also made on the rear, where the base reflex has a nice embossing and the speaker terminals are neatly made. The QX2s are quite heavy and big, perhaps a little bit too wide for my taste, but objectively speaking, build quality is on point. But as always, let's move to the most important, sound quality. The QX2 sound signature is definitely warm. In a way, it slightly reminds me of its cousin, Wardell Evo 4.1. I would also describe the sound to be condensed, similarly to the Q Acoustics 3030i's, even despite that in the case of Missions, their soundstage feels a bit fuller. Interestingly, Mission has used larger than usual 38mm diameter tweeter in here, which may at least in some part explain a feeling I had that it not only plays the higher frequencies, but some part of the mid-range as well. The treble is quite mellow and relaxing, but at the same time details are still present, especially short effects such as clicks and snares are emphasized and sound very pleasing to me. If there is one issue I see, it rather lays in the dispersion, but more on that a bit later. So as mentioned, mid-range has noticeable warmth, which could be desired as more relaxing and easygoing for some. Unfortunately, in a way Mission has done it, vocals sound slightly muffled and like they can't really get out of their cabinet too much. This I referred to when calling the sound slightly condensed. Furthermore, there is some directivity in the mid-range and treble that affects the soundstage and near-field listening. While the QX2s do provide depth and a decent wideness, I can't help, they feel somewhat artificial and closed in, especially with more complex songs. When listening to rock music, for example, even well-recorded songs can sound slightly messy and flat, with a sense of hissing pink noise in the background. On the other hand, playing some slower songs and even cranking up volume quite a bit, you can listen to the speaker for a long time without any fatigue. It is in fact very easygoing across all of the frequency spectrum. On top of that, the bass has solid presence and proper weight. It just never does too much nor too little, but at the same time maybe slightly lacks layering. Although to be fair, at this price point, lower frequencies are still better than in most of the rivals. To sum up, while the Mission QX2s provides with overall easygoing sound, there is a lack of layering in the music, particularly in the vocals. I found them to be slightly muffled and too condensed, not able to fully escape the cabinet. That being said, the speakers offer smooth and detailed highs, good bass extension, and quite a bit of power for their size. If you prefer a softer signature, the QX2s might just be what you're looking for. Now, as you may know, I'm a bit of a vocal geek for a lack of better word, so I can't give Mission more than 4 stars. However, if this aspect alone was improved, I think these speakers could easily be among the best on the market. So what do you think about the Missions? Perhaps you've heard them also. Let me know in the comments down below. Remember that I'm simply a hobbyist giving my honest opinion about the product. So if you can, subscribe and rate this video. Thank you all for watching and see you in the next one. Peace!